Hello guys, the Duke here. I'm going to be doing a Battlefield 4 boating tutorial. I need to stop the British accent. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this tutorial on making you a better boater. I'm going to be going over all the stuff you can unlock and also the best kit and tactics you should use against enemy boats. And so I'm just playing around. I'm going to kill myself so I can get back to the loadout and let's go. So I'm going to go to customize vehicles, attack boats. Now, when you first start off, you'll have the 25mm cannon. This is okay for the start. You get 30 rounds. It fires pretty fast, and it's okay for starting. Now, next on the list is the 30mm cannon, which I primarily use. It essentially has a bigger explosive payload, although you only get 15 rounds and it fires a little slower. This is what I would use against boats or tanks, stuff like that. I wouldn't really use the 25mm cannon or the burst cannon, which I will go to next. It essentially fires an 8-round burst of the 25mm cannon shells for devastating effect against aircraft and other light armored vehicles. I'm reading that from the side. Although it doesn't seem to work out that well for me. It seems like if you miss, then you'll just fire 8 rounds into nothing. So I would primarily use the 30mm cannon. Next, your secondary weapon starts as the tow missile. This is okay for the start. It's essentially a guided missile that you have to guide. And I like it, although it's not the end-all be-all. It's okay. Now, the passive radar is essentially surface-to-air missiles, which are used against air vehicles. I don't really use this that much, partially because I don't really engage air in my boat. I primarily engage like boats and tanks. Now, the laser guided missiles, this appears in the campaign on Angry Sea. You essentially use it against the Chinese boats. Now, in that one you get unlimited, but in this one you only get 2, and you have to keep the lock onto the target, which is kind of a pain in the butt, especially if you're trying to get away from it. And on Parasol Storm, when the waves are so big, you'll lose the lock. Now, Zuni rockets are essentially unguided rockets that aircraft and anti-air, and I think APCs can get. These are okay. I haven't used them that much, but if you don't have TV-guided missile yet, I would recommend them, or tow missile. Now, TV-guided missile essentially is a guided missile that you can see where it's going. In Battlefield 3, this was only available to the attack helicopters, but now it's available to the boats, one of the jets, and of course the attack helicopters. Now, this thing is pretty hard to control. Of course, if you practice with it, you'll get very good at it, and also if you're like a boat is right beside you, like right over here, you could just launch it right at him. Now, your countermeasure is going to be IR smoke. Essentially fires canisters of vaporized brass and graphite particles, which interfere with the tracking of hostile missiles and laser designations. This is what you'll first get. I don't really think it's that good. It's for all the vehicles that you start out with. You don't get them on stealth jets or attack jets or helicopters. Now, the smoke screen, I think this is okay, although I've gotten used to using the active protection, which I will get to. The smoke screen essentially releases a thick cloud of smoke, which will surround the vehicle and making it hard for people to see you, and also make it impossible for incoming missiles to achieve precise, critically damaging shots. Now, fire extinguisher, essentially when your ship is like on fire in the back, it'll put out the fire. And I like how these things spin when you see this, they'll flick. But it essentially will put out the fire. And I don't find it that I don't find it that good. Now, active protection, essentially, this is what I use. It will, when you push X to activate it, it'll shoot any missiles or like 20 or 30mm cannons out of the air. Good if like an attack jet is attacking you, or even the little helicopters, because they have those 25mm cannons and they are a lot more powerful than they were. Going to the optics, I would just use zoom optics. It doesn't really matter on this part, whatever you think is best. Upgrades, I would use belt feeder, because Before, I think, the R7 update, the TV guided missiles could be just launched, over and over and over super fast, but now they take longer to reload, and also this takes a long time to reload. So that's what I would choose. Of course, this makes your vehicle repair faster. This makes it harder for people to lock onto you. This shows vehicles, and this essentially shows aircraft. The camo doesn't really matter. Whatever you think is best, like you could choose the green underbrush, doesn't really matter. So I've gone through what I would choose. Now I'm going to spawn on the boat, and I'm on the test range. It works out very well to do a tutorial because you don't have to worry about multiplayers. Now essentially when you're attacking a boat, something you want to do is instead of going sideways, this is most commonly what people will do, is go sideways. You don't want to do that because essentially being sideways exposes this entire side of your boat, making you a bigger target. If you go to the side, or actually the front, point the front of your boat at the target, it makes you a smaller target, as you can see there. Also something to do, this happens with like APCs, just fire one round, and you can see on the bottom corner, it's reloading. This will allow where you get essentially 15 more shots instead of allowing it to load. Now the guided missile, say I'm attacking this boat, I fire my shots, I try to get close to him, fire that shot, and then try to fire another one. Usually 2 missiles will destroy it, but also if they activate this active protection, it'll shoot missiles out of the air. Now this UAV is going pretty slow. I'll try to attack it. Usually what attacks you the most is attack jets and those little helicopters, because since they got those 25mm cannons, they're a lot more powerful. Also, something to know is your gunners are actually very important, partially because they can engage air targets and also shoot out the gunners in the back, which brings to another thing you could do, is when you're attacking the boat, shoot at the back, because if there's someone repairing back there, right here repairing, then you need to take them out, or you're likely going to lose the fight. So continuing on, something else you want to do is once your boat, say your boat is about to blow up, something I forget to do is push F5 to deploy the personal watercraft, and essentially what you can do is just escape out of here as fast as you can and get to maybe another boat, like a good boat, and then get in it and escape. Now there isn't that much against engaging air targets. You kind of want to make you a smaller target. Say this thing is attacking you, it's a little helicopter. What you want to do is try to put yourself under it. Like you're seeing it, the little bird would be going a lot faster than it, and I just try to fire at the little bird, and then say they spin around, just go under them, and this will essentially allow you to shoot under them and they cannot shoot at you. Now this UAV is going pretty slow, and I just hit it with my TV missile. The TV missiles can go pretty far. You can see how far I'm going with it. Anyway, I hope this tutorial helped you and made you a better boater in Battlefield 4. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't say too many miswords. But yeah, this is the Duke signing off.